Hello everyone, let's continue from where we left off on the previous video. Just to recap a little bit, we have created one folder on our desktop called first website, and in there we have one index.html document on the root, and we have written a bit of HTML and two HTML tags. Before we continue with the coding, I just want to show you a few slides to explain a little bit how the HTML syntax works. So when we talk about HTML, we're actually talking about the language that we use to build up the structure of our website. And just as in like every other language, there is some grammar to be learned. And in the case of programming, instead of saying grammar, we use the term syntax. So it means the same thing, more or less. And what you see on the screen now is just an example of one HTML tag, which would be the equivalent of one word in the English language, for example. It has a specific way of writing it. And as you can see here, it is composed of three parts. You have an opening tag, you have the content that's actually what will appear on your web page, and then you have a closing tag. The closing tag, in some cases, there are some HTML tags that don't have it, like an image tag or a break tag, for example, but usually you will be seeing a closing tag. Another element that's very important are attributes inside our HTML. They're usually written within the opening tag before the closing bracket. They are composed of the name of the attribute, followed by an equal sign, and then the value of the attribute, usually written between quotation marks. This is just one example of an attribute within a paragraph tag, but as you will see and explore later, you will find that there are multiple attributes added to different tags. One other extra thing that I just want to mention very quickly, I'm not going to go super deep into it, is the fact that we are trying to use as much semantic markup as possible. Way back when people used to program without semantic tags, we would just use divs for everything, and div stands for division, which means just creating a specific container in which we would place our content in. Nowadays, we have different terms for every division that we want to create, so it's really important to incorporate those in our code so that our pages are more legible. One for our Google crawlers in general, so that our pages are indexed, and also for people who use screen readers, for instance. There is a very specific structure that we are working in, so I've tried to make a visualization of it. We have a doctype HTML tag, which is a tag without a closing tag, and this is just to let the browser know, hey, this is an HTML document. Then it is followed by the HTML tag itself, and within that we have two big categories, our head tag and our body tag. Inside of our head tag, we actually just put in metadata, which actually is just information that the browser needs to be able to read the website better. This is just a small example. I have put here a title, and this is something that will not appear in our viewport, which is the white square that you see on the screen, but it appears on our tab, for instance. Inside of our head is also where we will put our favicons and links to our fonts and external pages that we might need for our page. We also have a body tag, which is the tag in which we will be doing most of the coding. In here we put the website's content, everything that you will see appear in this viewport. I've just went over this very quickly, but I definitely recommend you to look up more information about HTML when you have the time. And then just to finish off this recording, W3 Schools is a very nice website in my opinion, where you will find a very nice overview of every HTML tag. If you click on one of them, you will also get an example that you can play with and also incorporate into your code eventually. So it's a very good website that I definitely recommend checking out. In the next video, I will be recording the tribute page example. We will be coding it together. You definitely will find a lot of different examples on the internet, so you don't have to wait for the next tutorial to get started if you would like to. But I hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye!